Greetings from the Lyceum. It's nice to see you guys once again, all of you. It has been quite a long time that we met, we discussed, we shared our thoughts over this nice platform called this YouTube. Thank you, guys. And at this time, I would like to make one simple and a humble request. Visit our webpage, visit our YouTube channel, subscribe the channel, share this with your friend, and ask them, encourage them to share, encourage them to subscribe. Most important, encourage them to communicate. Keep me posted, your views. Very, very important for me. Okay, so what is it we are going to discuss today? As usual, lean, TPM, world-class manufacturing. And that is what the USP of the Lyceum. Transform, not just change. We are here on transformation process, not just changing our colors. It's a transformation. So we are looking for, we are working for, we will be there on this transformation journey. Right, my dear friends? We have seen in the last few videos, daily workplace management and Gemba. And a lot of people raised some alarms, some questions to me, either through mails or through WhatsApp chat or through their reactions in the YouTube. They said that how are you going to correlate your Gemba or this workplace management, the actions that you are talking about, the actions. And then sometime back you put up a video also called Kaizen. What is that relation? How are you going to mix it up? That is the most important thing, my dear friends. Right. Now we explore more onto this. From there we will take off. Number one, we said we don't want armchair engineers. We want engineers. Please note, I'm using the word engineers. I'm not using the word managers. For me, an engineer will become a manager, and a manager can never become an engineer. So, an engineer is supposed to go to the place where the value is getting added, and then start working. That is the starting point for his journey, continuous improvement journey. Right now, the question comes. What is to be done? Okay. Nowadays, it is fashionable. To some extent, it is fashionable to say go to Gemba. People are going to Gemba. If any meeting is there, people go to Gemba and they assemble there, and then they discuss. I am not going deep into this. I put a comma, full stop, semicolon, whatever you wish. I put it here. I am leaving this judgment to your best interest. But what is happening in Gemba? People are going there. But what do they do? What do they do is the question. Now, in Gemba, you need to see things with your own eyes. And in Gemba, it is not just you are going there and standing there. You are going there, you are doing some work. You can clean the workplace. Go and clean the workplace. By doing that, you will understand what is happening in the workplace. And in Gemba, don't just stand or don't just sit in a chair. No, Gemba is not meant for that. Gemba is not meant for that. You just cannot stand there saying that I'm looking at it. No. How you will observe? There is a method to observe. There's a methodology to observation. How that happens? You just cannot be there with your eyes closed, or rather eyes opened and mind closed. Go to Gemba and then do some work in the Gemba. I suggest clean the workplace. Don't sit there and don't sit anywhere. Don't stand there also. And most importantly, do not ask for ideas. Don't ask any ideas to anyone. See things with your own eyes. See things with your own eyes with the backdrop of knowing the problem. You are there in the Gemba not for sightseeing. You are there in the Gemba to find some solution for a problem that has already been occurred. Has occurred. Because of this, either your customer is unhappy, is not satisfied, or your internal customer is not happy, or in your own section, the rejection reworks are accumulating like anything. Is it not our responsibility to look into this? Don't we want to see that? So the important point is, don't ask anyone. You do it by yourself. Understand things. Don't ask, don't give ideas. You understand, you observe, and then what is to be observed? Here we have this 3M, Muda, Mura, Muri. And it has been nearly 20 years, or rather more than 20 years. We have been telling this word very, very, very colloquially, without knowing the real meaning of it. We always say Muda, Mura, Muri. And one of the important goal of world-class manufacturing is elimination of waste. Waste elimination is the key. So whenever we say waste, we associate that word Muda. So Muda, elimination of Muda is the most important point. Good. We are not saying no. And we are not going to tell that also. We are encouraging you. We encourage you guys. But what has happened in the last 20 years? Have we misunderstood anything? Is there any problem in our understanding? I think so. Because we have been very, very phenomenal in telling this word Muda, 3M, Muda, Mura, Muri. Muda is the waste. And Mura is an unevenness, imbalance. And then Muri is a physical strain. And all through these years, we have been looking into Muda, 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 and Muda only, saying that it is waste. And we try to give the definition. Waste is the one for which, from looking from the customer's perspective, which is not adding any value, an activity which is not adding any value. And this is what our viewpoint. But gentlemen, I would like to take a cue from the great Ono-san. He said, anything is a waste that obstructs the flow, because the Toyota production system, TPS, the most important fundamental requirement for TPS is the flow. When I say flow, I mean it. When you look at your shop floor, you must see the materials are flowing continuously like a river. You are not creating any isolated mounds, isolated mountains. WIPs, each and every workstation you keep. That is not the fundamental requirement. The fundamental requirement of Toyota production system is flow. It should flow. Now, waste, for internal sake, for God's sake, at least let us start learning it. Anything that obstructs the free flow, smooth flow of your production is a waste. Now, you cannot jump into this Muda immediately, saying that everything, it is obstructing all these things. We need to have a lens. Look at it. Look at it. One of the most important thing, or rather the second thing he says, Ono-san says, after the flow production, he says production leveling is the most important thing in implementing or realizing the Toyota production system. Production leveling, flow production, and then level production. But we are all accustomed with produce the mass production, mass volume, and then the smaller volumes will be taken care in the month end. Most of the time we are losing business on this small volumes because we give only that much importance. We put it in the last day or last month or last week. Will not happen. But in level production, Onosan advises us, you need to produce all the items on a daily basis, whether it is a mass volume or a small volume. So we deliberately create an imbalance, unevenness in the system, mura. We create an imbalance in the system, and that imbalance is pushing the people to do more. Physical strain. Physical strain. The physical strain on people, muri. Mura is the first thing, and you are designing mura into the system. You are designing into that. You are not working for flow production. You are not working on level production. Now, without fundamental, you start trying to build the building. Single story, double story, fifth story building, 5-story building. Now you are deliberately designing mura into the system, which is inducing muri, physical strain on the people, and that results in muda. That results in muda, where it affects the flow production. Now, go to Gemba, clean, observe, see, look, and then start giving ideas. Start giving ideas. No, do it by yourself. Take immediate action. Solve that problem at least temporarily, and then find out the root cause. Kill the root cause. And then comes the most important two things. You are doing some activity to take it back to the original condition. And that is what we call it as Kaizen. In most of the organization, people are confused with continuous improvement activity and Kaizen. Kaizen is a sort of a fill in the blank. There is a gap. You always wanted to do something, but you are doing something here. There is a gap. And you try to fill this gap through some activity, which is called Kaizen. And once you have achieved this level, then you start improving, which is called continuous improvement activity. But someone said, okay, yeah, let it be there, whatever name we call it as. You can call it any name, but you need to call an apple is an apple. You cannot call an apple by some other names, because that is the most important understanding that goes here, and then you deliver. So these are all the important activities. And then Kaizen is bridging the gap, trying to bridge the gap, make it equal, and then start improving. So the most important two things: maintain what you improve, maintain what you improve, and then improve what you maintain. That is why the continuous improvement activity is triggered. If this is not triggered, from where we will be working on it? So go to Gemba is not just going to Gemba and hi. No. Go to Gemba. The idea of going to Gemba is to solve problems. And solving problem by yourself, not asking ideas from someone else. You give ideas, you tell ideas, you implement ideas. Most of the people are thinking Kaizen is meant for operators. It is not for staff. How foolish people are. Kaizen is meant for everyone. Kaizen is meant for everyone. Kaizen is what you are doing with your own hands. Are you doing it? So, gentlemen, should I say the last part of this DWM, Daily Workplace Management, Gemba, continue to Gemba. Now, do you understand the relationship between Gemba and Kaizen? That is what we call it as Gemba, Gemba Kaizen. That is what we, and that is why I say, that is why I said some time back, Kaizen means method change. Kaizen is not a design change. Kaizen is not a process change. Kaizen is method change. The lowest level, method change. You are not taking it to next level. Maybe the process change, maybe the design change can be considered in your continuous improvement activity, CIP projects, people call it as. So right now, after hearing this, I strongly believe, instead of calling Muda, Mura, Muri, you may start calling from Mura, Muri, and Muda. Please share your points, share your thoughts, keep in touch, stay in touch, come back and visit my webpage. You will find newsletters. You can download the newsletters, read it, communicate with us. Till then,